The first time I know Mr. Eric Kurniawan, PhD, is from his articles, which was published in Linguistics Indonesia, Pak Eric Kurniawan. And then in that article, he discusses the finance in Sundanese. And for me, it was very inspiring. Yeah. All right. Without further ado, please welcome our first speaker, Mr. Ernie Kurniawan, PhD. You are pleased.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
I hope my voice is quite clear. First of all, I'd like to extend greatest appreciation to the committee of Iclle, right, for inviting me and having me here today. Allow me to share my screen. So the topic of our today's talk is genre analysis of research article abstracts of Indonesians, lesson learned and recommendation, and that's my name. If you want to talk more about what I've done and what I've researched, you can drop a message at this email address, and this is my Instagram account. And here are my recent publications in Scopus. If you look at each of them quite carefully, then you can see that my recent works have revolved around genre analysis of research articles of different types and different parts, from abstract to discussions. All right, so what I'm going to talk to you today, I'll start with the background. Why is it important that we look at this kind of study, and perhaps at some point later, it may inspire you to at least take a look at how it might be interesting for your own research line, and you might somehow do something about it. And then the method of my research and some findings, results, and recommendation. Let's start with the background. So why do we have to somehow talk more about scientific publications? So this is the journal that we have organized by the Language Center of our university, and it's a Scopus Index, quartile 2, with impact factor 0.28. So I guess something that is crystal clear, that we are here to advance knowledge, right? To promote our reputation, academically speaking, to expand network, and at some point, we hope that by doing so, we can get some promotion and incentives. And scientific publication can also help us, or academic discipline, augment research globally. So only by involving ourselves in this global scientific publication can we help expand the research network. And according to Virgin Mustafa 2017, scientific publication is also an index of academic success. So as an academic community member ourselves, one of the success indicators is how good is our publication, how productive we are in publishing our works. And in our context, which is quite unique in Indonesian context, based on the existing regulations, um, we cannot do away from um, publications, because even if you are students, the only exit from our study is to publish something, right? Starting from undergrad to graduate college, and we as some of us as lecturers, so we have to publish in order to somehow obtain a degree, or to get a promotion, or to maintain incentives on the part of professors. So why have I delved into abstracts for a couple years so far? I've done this for about 4 to 5 years. So the first thing, abstract is a key for a manuscript to enter the review stage of a journal manuscript. So if you have a good solid piece of research, um, and then you have a solid manuscript, and yet you somehow uh, belittle or undermine the abstract, like you just wrote your abstract pretty much at the final minute before the submission, then chances are your manuscript will get a rejection. Why? Because your abstract is not worth reviewing. uh, it's a key. So the very first stage in the journal business, and in the journal industry, is um, the editors will look at your abstract and somehow gauge whether your abstract is worth looking at or reviewing or not. If somehow your abstract is not good enough, then most editors will not proceed to the next part of the article. And then an abstract is also the selling point. So if you go to Google Scholar, for example, the most visible part of our manuscript is abstract. So it's pretty much the most strategic point of our article, so that people will take a look at our article, and if they're interested, then they will read further, and hopefully at the end of the day they will cite. And then according to Swales and Fick, an abstract is also a predictor of whether a thesis or a dissertation. I guess to some extent, it's also true of journal manuscript, um, whether it gets a minor or major revision. So if you look at an abstract and the abstract has lots of errors or typos, or even some um, methodological flaws, then you can predict from the outset that this manuscript needs a lot of work. All right, and then why should we somehow adopt a genre analysis of this particular part of a research article, which is abstract? Well, historically speaking, back in 1981, Swales introduced the so-called creating a research space, or CARS. So his ideas were basically, how do we look at this particular part, introduction, in that case, and then see what role it plays, and how it can somehow convince people of the significance, or the essence of the research paper. And so Swells then proposed some generic convention, or the so-called rhetorical structure in a particular genre: introduction, abstract, research article in general. So basically what it means is there is a particular way of writing research articles, starting from abstract to conclusion. And also by doing so, we can also identify moves, right, or linguistic language features, and hopefully can also raise the author's awareness of writing conventions. Because I guess the recipe for successful publication is quite simple. If you know what to expect of your manuscript from a journal editor, then the likelihood of your manuscript getting published is getting high. And so one of the expectations is writing conventions, how you structure your ideas, right? How you uh, choose certain language choices and grammatical features in your writing. All right. Previous studies have looked at three general areas: the descriptive, which basically looks at a certain part of research article or a certain part of academic writing, and it has been done by quite numerous researchers, me myself including. And then the second group is so-called comparative, and so this kind of study compares, for example, the abstract in humanities to those of hard science, or the abstracts of English students to those of mathematics students. So that kind of comparison, and it has been done by a lot of researchers. And the final one is the so-called contrastive, and so looking at different languages, for example, the abstract of English compared to those of um, Indonesian or Malay, right, or Thailand and some other languages. And in terms of analytical frameworks, so in the literature, there is a lot to choose, starting from Swales, 1992, Batia, Santos, Highland, Halk, and Connor, Swales and Fick, and Kanoxipata. And if you look at what they are proposing, basically all have something in common, i.e., each analytical framework starts with introduction, right? Which is something we are expecting, because an abstract is actually a mirror image of our manuscript, and a manuscript is structured in general based on the so-called IMRAD, right? Introduction, method, results, analysis, and discussion, plus conclusion. And so it is reasonable then, in most of the analytical frameworks, introduction should be the first one, right? So when you write an abstract, the first thing that you have to make sure that you have in your abstract is introduction. And then move to pretty much talks about methodology, and it's important, it's obligatory in all research findings across different frameworks, across different disciplines, across different types of papers. And then the next move, which is also important, is results or products, what you found out. And the last one is conclusion or discussion. So regardless of which one you like to pick, most of these frameworks somehow come to some agreement that an ideal abstract should consist of introduction, right? And at some point, some purpose goal is also expected, but obligatorily speaking, it needs to have methods, results, right, and conclusion. All right, so here are the questions that I was pursuing in my research. What are the trends in research on genre analysis of research abstract written by Indonesians, and what are the key findings from the previous studies? Of course, what also related to that, what recommendation that we can glean from those findings, right? So what I did was quite a simple systematic review um, by critically and comprehensively examining previous research, and then um, planning, formulating, developing the review protocol, like what criteria should I have in order to choose and select the literature, right? And then executing, searching, reviewing, assessing all the research articles that I can find from Google Scholar, and finally highlighting the trends, right? Move and steps, and some linguistic features, and some other comparable aspects of the paper. All right, now here come the findings and discussion. So the first research question is trends in genre studies. In particular, I looked at the distribution of studies on genre analysis of RA per year, and then academic genres, corpus size, disciplinary areas, coding scheme or analytical frameworks, and types of analytical approach, and types of publication outlet. So let's take a look at each particular question or sub question. So the first one is the distribution of genre analysis. So what is quite interesting here is within our context, research done by our fellow Indonesians. So as far as I can tell, based on my literature review, um, the first studies were conducted back in 1915, right? Sorry, 2015. So that's the first one. Hold on. So these are the first one, and then in the last 2 years, 2020 and 2021, I've witnessed some surge, some increase in the number of research done in this field, which is quite a positive trend, right? So this signifies that research of this kind of topic are quite developing, looking at this trend. The second one is academic genres. So research that has been done in this area has looked at journal articles describing or comparing different kinds of journal articles, comparing Synta index as opposed to Scopus index, or comparing um, Scopus index journals of different quartiles. And then some research have also looked at thesis, undergrad thesis, master's thesis, and dissertations, right? And then the rest has also examined research reports, okay? And then in terms of corpus size, I guess because it's a thriving area in Indonesia, so we cannot expect studies that involve a large amount of corpora. And so if you look at the trend here, pretty much the majority of the studies involve only small amount of corpus size, 1 to 50 abstracts, for example. Um, and then some involve more than 50, and some even involve more than 100 abstracts. And then in terms of disciplinary areas investigated, because most, if not all, research in this topic were performed by English teachers or English students or English lecturers. So it is no surprise that most areas or the most dominant topic, the most dominant area research is ELT, English language teaching. And then some research has looked at language education. Multidisciplinary is also quite dominant, right? Comparing soft and hard science, for example, or comparing particular disciplines across the fields. And then some have looked at applied linguistics in general. And then in terms of coding schemes, Highland 2000 has been the most adopted analytical framework. And as far as I can tell, I guess this is so because Highland somehow provides a more straightforward scheme from introduction and then purpose, method, product, or findings and discussion. I'm sorry, and conclusion. And then the rest is spread all over other across different schemes. And in terms of types of analytical approach, most have adopted comparative, looking at different like comparing different disciplines, right? That's pretty much the emerging pattern that we've seen so far. And in terms of where these works end up being published. Um, because again, this a thriving area in our context, national journals are the most preferable, and then conference proceeding come second. And it's quite interesting that even though the locus of the research is quite specific, right? Publications or research articles written by Indonesians, but somehow that kind of topic can be published in international journals. And of four, three were published in Scopus Index Journal Quartile 1. So that's quite impressive. All right, main findings. We'll look at the move occurrence and then linguistic features of each move. And the first one is the move occurrences. And so across different schemes or platforms, what we can see here is of five moves. If you can imagine these five moves in abstract. So purpose, method, and results, right? Purpose, method, findings, or purpose, method, product are the most dominant. So what that tells us is uh, an ideal abstract, whatever it is, whether it is a thesis or a conference proceeding or a journal article, the least it should contain our purpose, method, and results, right? And then I guess the same is true of the Swells and Batia's framework, right? Where um, method, results, plus introductions are quite dominant across different genres, right? So as you can tell from this graph, from journal articles to conference paper, um, still purpose, method, and product, right? So those three moves are required, are obligatory across different genres. Across disciplines, as we can expect, pretty much a similar trend emerges, right? So purpose, move, product, then purpose, move, product. In multidisciplinary product or the findings are the most dominant and the rest is kind of competing with each other. But what we can conclude from this graph is purpose, method, result seem to be required across different topics, right, or different disciplinary areas. All right. If you look at a contrastive kind of study, as a sample, I uh, specifically looked at Firdausya, Hermawan, and Muniro, published quite recently, a couple weeks ago. So they looked at abstract written by Indonesian students in a particular university. And in some universities, abstract are to be presented in two languages, Indonesian and English, regardless of what majors you are. And it's quite interesting to see how Indonesian abstract somehow fare with respect to English, right? And if you look at this pattern, somehow there isn't much substantial difference. Uh, both abstracts from the two groups are dominant in the use of methods and results, which is quite expected. They don't really use conclusion as much, which is okay, right? And so there is just some slight or minor divergence or difference in terms of the use of introduction or conclusion, right? And then linguistic features starting from tense, the present tense were dominantly used in abstract, especially in writing introduction, purpose, and conclusion. Present perfect tense was dominant in describing the state of the art step and the research gap step, which is part of introduction. And past tense were considered obligatory in method and results move. So when you guys are writing the method section of your abstract and the result section, make sure that you use past tenses. All right. In terms of voice, active voice was dominant in introduction, results, and conclusion. Okay. And the statement of a gap, right, in the introduction was realized mostly in passive voice, and passive voice was quite dominant in method, as we can expect it, right? So because we talk about how data were collected, how data were analyzed, right? And in terms of meta discourse, social science abstract employed more hedges, I guess, because as part of social science field, we tend to be more indirect, right, in expressing our arguments, as opposed to hard science counterparts. And the most hedged move was conclusion. So it turns out that the part in our abstract that involves or that uses more hedges is conclusion, by using modal verbs, right? Something like the teachers can adjust. So this use of can somehow serves as a hedge, right? Or the study suggests that, so we don't say something like quite blunt, this right, this correct, but we use some epistemic verbs like suggest and recommends and so on and so forth. All right, and then so what we can conclude from all these studies, Zangro research on abstracts by our fellow Indonesian has just flourished in the past 2 years, which is quite a positive trend, and I hope that it will continue to, to rise in the next few years. And then the most research area has been ELT, English language teaching, and it is reasonable because most, if not all, researchers doing this kind of research are English students and English lecturers. And then the framework most adopted has been Highland 2000. Most studies have involved a small amount of corpora from the, I guess the studies that involve the list corpora is four for abstract, if I'm not mistaken, up to 50 abstracts. And then a journal article is the most frequently analyzed genre. So researchers in this area have quite intensively look at journal articles, comparing national articles versus international articles, comparing local journals with Sinta index journals, or Sinta index journals versus Scopus index journals. And then in terms of move, right, and some other linguistic features, what we can draw from the literature is, when you write an abstract, there are three moves, there are three stuff that you need to write. The first one is purpose, right? The objective of this research, or this research was aimed at blah 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 blah, blah, right? So that's important. And then the second one is, of course, describing or detailing research procedure, data collection, data analysis, right? Participants, if involve any, and then finally the results, right? So these three moves are obligatory in abstract, whatever your abstract is, whether it is for a conference, or for a book, for a thesis, or even for a journal article. All right, future direction. So perhaps for future research, if you are interested in this kind of, in this line of research, you may look at the correspondence of writers or authors' cognition, right, with their actual apps. It is actually something that I am doing this year. And then comparative, you can also look at similarities and variation in the abstract within each disciplinary areas, right? Or contrastive by looking at different languages. For example, looking at the author's L1 background and their English translated abstract. So our students come from pretty much linguistically diverse backgrounds. In the context of Lampung, for example, their L1 could be Sundanese or Japanese or Lampung, right? And so it could be interesting to see how these different L1s will influence their quality of English translated abstract. So that's something that you may somehow take a further look at, okay? Or do translation strategies in this case also affect the realization of rhetorical moves, for example. right? And then as far as teaching is concerned, I would say that corpus-driven genre pedagogy for research publication purposes is something that we can do. So in teaching academic writing, we can make use of corpus to see how successful authors, right, write their abstract in this case in in different outlets. And then critical pedagogy is also something that we can consider um, because it will also sharpen our students' critical thinking skills. And then what I have found also quite important from all this literature is the effectiveness of one-on-one consultation, right? So feedback in academic writing is important. Yeah, so then because by doing so we can tailor um, constructive corrective feedback as to the needs and the needs of our individual students. And then personalized corpora in English for research publication purposes also is important. And these days we can actually tailor our own corpora, right? Because we have assembled or amassed quite a significant amount of data from our students, right, from our colleagues, and so we can construct our own corpora for our own research or teaching purposes. And then for policymakers, I guess the teachers of English for academic purposes can take initiatives to develop student research abstract writing. So, what I'm saying is, like within the university or perhaps faculty domain, or even study program or department, we can create a course or at least like a study corner where students can gather and talk about their concerns, right, their interest in publications, and in those meetings we can discuss how to better write abstracts. And then we can also provide workshops for our colleagues and also for our students and on how to appropriately write abstract. Um, And I guess as far as the government domain is concerned, our government can take initiatives in establishing not only research center, but also writing for publication centers. This is something that I have observed quite extensively in the United States. So every university, if I'm mistaken, has a writing center that helps students to polish their draft, but it's not something which is common in Indonesian context. So research centers are good, but writing centers are, um, I guess, will help our students in getting their work published. And then the government parties can also encourage universities to open formal courses of English for research publication purposes. So academic writing has been a commonplace course across different universities in our context, but it has to be more specific in this case, like English for research publication purpose has been an emerging sub-genre, if I may say, and I guess by somehow providing some hours or some topics specifically for English for publication purposes, that will help. That will better help our students and our fellow colleagues to to publish their works more successfully. All right,
Mr. Eric,
that
uh,
much
going to be the
concludes
end.
my
There's
right
still
concludes
2 minutes left.
my talk, and I guess we can entertain any other any questions in the QA session. Thank you so much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for Mr. Eric Kurniawan for the insightful presentations. And I think it becomes important right now since it becomes our a bigger focus for the publications, especially for those who are pursuing the, what is that, the master and also the doctoral program. Yeah. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Eric Kurniawan. Then right now, we come to the second speaker. She is Dr. Ervina Simatupang. Before the presentation, I'd like to read her brief biography. She is an English lecturer at Widyatama University, Bandung. She has been teaching for 11 years. Wow. Her research interests are social linguistics, syntax, semantics, functional grammar, corpus-based research, and digital applications. She has a great patience and interest in the area of educational technology. Patience, she has published a book with the title Digital Application for Synchronous and Asynchronous Learning, which has spread out in several cities of Indonesia. Congrats for Dr. Ervina. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our second speaker in this plenary sessions. Dr. Ervina Simatupang, you are please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Aprianto. Okay, may I have access my PowerPoint? All right. Yeah. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak here. And before I start, okay, I would like to ask you a question. What tool do you use to assess the students? Could you please answer in the chat box? Okay, I'll repeat the question. What tools do you use to assess your students during this pandemic? Please answer in the chat box. So, yeah. Okay, still waiting. You use maybe, for example, Google Form or Schoology or kinds of tools. All right, let me see. Okay, Google Form. All right, thank you. Zoom. Okay, Google Meet. Okay, Spada. All right. Okay, so Zoom. Okay, Google Form also and Google Meet. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for the response. Yeah, so some of you already use Google Form. And today I'm going to explain, I'm going to share with you about Google Form. We combine with other applications that can be very useful for doing assessment during this pandemic. Okay, before that, okay, I would like to begin with my own experience, why I am interested in this topic, the use of Google Classroom. Yeah, why I am interested in this topic, the use of Google Classroom combined with Google Form and auto-practice for student assessment during COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, 3 months ago, our campus held midterm exam, and I found some problem that the accuracy of students' scores are questions. For example, they got big score, but do not reflect with their ability. So I tried to explore some application that I have known that can solve the problem. So that's why I would like to share with you some application that can be used for assessment during this pandemic. All right. Okay, next, this is the topic discussion.
Dr. Ervina, would you please to make it slideshow?
Oh,
so
yeah.
It will be bigger then.
Okay, can you see my share screen?
Yeah.
All right, this one. All right.
Yes.
So this is the topic discussion. The first is introduction, and the second is what are the special of Google Classroom, Google Form, and also auto-practice. And the last we'll do simulation of this application. All right. Now I move to the next slide. Since COVID-19 outbreak changes the process of teaching and learning in the entire school all over the world, from face-to-face classroom to online classroom. As mentioned by John 2021, that COVID-19 has affected the traditional learning method of academic institutions across the world. So online learning during the pandemic is giving new environment and experience for students. So students are studying fully with their computer or mobile phones, and they have no much relation with the teacher and friends who can do collaborative learning in the group. So however, teachers contribute to share materials, video, or other learning sources for students to learn and give individual or collaborative assignment, such as quizzes, examination to students to do as evaluation of the learning process. Yeah, online learning creates new experience of learning to our students. For example, they have to do quiz or exam individually or independently. So as a teacher or educator, we have to find out the solution, how to find out the solution for those problems. Okay, this is the background or the reasons why this topic is questioned, why this topic is very important. The first is score accuracy. As I mentioned before, the students got big score. Okay, the students got big score, but do not reflect with their ability. Since we do classroom, okay, online classroom, yeah, do not reflect their abilities. And the second, also cheating. The students can find the answer. Some of students find the answer from like Googling or asking friends. And the third is online exam security. This is very important that we have to know online exams security is very important and very useful for the assessment. They cannot share their work. With other. And also, since the system of the application will lock. Okay, so we lock the question because there is a password to enter the test. And also the next one is a timing. Timing in this application that student can test. Students can test while seeing the timer on the screen, so they can manage the time properly. And also the last one, monitoring. Okay, monitoring. Students' activity while doing the task will be seen in the result, and the report will be considered as a student's pass or fail. So maybe we face this in this situation. So that's why I would like to share with you some application that can be very useful for assessment. Here you go. The first application is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is one of LMS or learning management system. Maybe some of you already use this platform, Google Classroom, or actually at University we use Moodles, but in other university I also use Google Classroom. But sometimes I use this application, and this is very easy to use actually. And free web service developed by Google for School that aims to simplify creating and distributing and grading assignment. And the second one, the second application that I'd like to share is Google Form. Maybe long time ago we knew Google Form just for survey or questionnaires. But nowadays Google Form, this platform give more add-on or feeders for us to combine for creating tests. So I like this application. I use this for doing assessment, and you can see as a valid and reliable instrument for assessing students' tests. And I have a limited time, so I make it fast. Then we'll do later the simulation. And the last is auto-proctor. Okay, this one is a new. Maybe this is new. Auto-proctor is an automated proctoring. Okay, proctoring solution. So this is the solution for online tests. As a user to take tests, auto-proctor monitor. Okay, auto-proctor monitor the user environment and action real time to determine the student pass or fail. So when you use this application, actually more reliability, more valid. Okay, since we'll see the student activities. They will be captured, okay, and recorded. When the students move to left or right, it can be recorded, okay. And the last, yeah, let's do simulation, okay. Let's do simulation. So the first, okay, maybe you can try this at home. Okay, so the first we go to Google Form first, okay. The first we go to Google Form. Maybe you can try at home. Okay, Google Form. All right. As I mentioned before, Google Form not only for survey or for questionnaire, but also can create quiz, create exam. All right, and then yeah, and then sign in. Yeah, sign in. Okay, here you go. We start from the first. Yeah, we start a new form. Okay, for example, you write what's that description, or for example, today is test, yeah, or quiz one, for example, quiz one. Okay, from this from description, we can write, please complete the following question. Okay, I complete the following. All right. Okay. Next, yeah. Next, we add question. Okay, we add question here. Okay, the first is name. We don't need to write email again since.
Sorry, Dr. Ivina.
Yes.
Will you do simulations? Will you do the simulations in your presentation?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Can you see my
Have you-
screen, Dr. Aprianto?
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
see my. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just only 10 minutes, so we'll get the result. Maybe probably we can use this for exam or for assessment in our school.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Ervina. So just now, you did the simulation, right? But we cannot see your simulations.
Oh, seriously? All right.
Yes.
Okay, I'll try.
So I think you need to make it slideshow, yeah.
Oh, slideshow. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you need to, for a while, stop share and then share again.
All right. Okay. How about this, Dr. Akanto? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. So yeah, the first is we go to Google Form, and then we create a quiz. Okay. For example, okay, this is quiz one. We type quiz one, and this one is please complete. Okay. All right. Please complete the question, following question. Okay, now we go to the questions. Okay. Oh, sorry. This one we erase it first. Okay, the first is name. We don't need to write email again since this will be, yeah, according to the email. And then the first, okay, we type the questions, and I have prepared already the questions. So we just only copy it. All right. Number one. Only two questions then, yeah, only two questions. Okay. Next, the answer, okay. Copy again the answers. All right. Okay, one more question. Okay, only two. Later you can add or you can create more questions. And then we add again the question for number two, just only two questions. All right. Okay, number two. All right, and then the answer. Okay, we do it in multiple choice. You can also, yeah, with essay or yeah, this one. Okay. Next, after this, we put the code. or passcode. Okay, the first is, okay, don't forget this title. Okay, so become quiz one, just only one time here. And then after that, what should we do? Okay, we save it first. Oh, here to make it more officially. Okay, oh, sorry. We go to this one first. Okay, choose image. For example, yeah, I will upload this. Okay. Okay, this is one. All right, next. Okay, done. All right, after that, yeah. Okay, and then we do. Next is a setting. We go to the next, to go to setting, then see, we collect the email here, and then just limit to one response so they cannot try it for 2 times, so they can attend 2 times. And then we go to the quiz or make this a quiz, and then okay, you can share also, they can see the correct answer, they can see the score. Okay, or do you want just only, yeah, later after a manual review? Or that's okay, you can see. Okay, just this one. Then you can choose also correct answer or point values. All right, or after that we save, and then here you go. This is the application that I'd like to share with you. Oh, I forgot this one. Okay, one more please. Okay, after this we add again one more, the passcode. We add the passcode here. Okay, passcode. Okay, the passcode is yeah, so answer, you can choose okay, here you go, response validation. You have to check the response validation, and then whether number or text. Okay, I prefer text, so right here, for example, quiz 1. All right, and then required. All right, okay, and then we save it. Okay, now we go to the answer key here. Okay, answer key for number 1 is, for example, okay, how many points? 25. Yeah, for example, this one is 25 since we have only 2 questions. And then check down. And number 2 is answer key. Okay, and oh, this one already. Number 2. Okay, person for to keep. Okay, all right. And then this one is 25. So yeah, 50 out of 50. Actually, 50 and 50 equal 100. So done. Okay. All right. And then we go to this application. All right. After that, we go to this setting. Okay. We choose adds on. Okay, here you go. Adds on. And then application, actually there are 2 applications from limiter and also this one, auto proctor. Okay. Proctor. Okay, this one already installed. Okay, I'll take it. Okay. Again. Okay. Adds on. I repeat again. Adds on. And then click. Okay, or search out Autocrat. Autoproctor. I mean autoproctor. And then oh, not this one. What? Sorry. Oh. Yes, in here. Yeah. Okay, here you go. And then we install it. Okay, click continue, and then use, okay, your email. Which email do you want to use? Go, I will choose this one. Yeah, to view Google Classroom. So this one is connected to Google Classroom. So automatically connected to your Google Classroom. Okay, and then allow. Okay, done. All right. Okay, already done. Okay, after that, okay, yeah, there will be add-ons here. Okay, we refresh first. Okay, refresh, and then we set the time. Okay, you go and go to setting. Okay. This is the timer and also proctor. Okay, what the function of this? Okay, the first is duration. Since I have only only 2 questions, I'll make it 3 minutes. Okay, and then also start date. Okay, start date, for example, 28. Yeah, okay, 28, for example. Okay, 28. Okay, start open. Okay, start time. You can set it maybe to, now is 2 o'clock. So we can access this now. At the end, done, and then we go to end date. Okay, maybe tomorrow or today also can be. How many end time? For example, at 5 p.m. So they can have time to access the text. Yeah. So is okay. All right. Be careful with this one. I didn't. Okay. Auto close test. Okay. We don't check this one since if we check auto close test, so automatically our students, if they don't finish their test, will be closed suddenly, immediately. So update setting. Okay, now go. Okay, successfully. Now we go to proctor. This one. Yeah, this. Okay, this part. Okay, this menu. Okay, the first is step switching, so they cannot open other tools or application during exam. Okay, so only one application. Okay, or Chrome only. They cannot open other sources. And the second is camera. Okay, will be recorded. Okay, every activities will be recorded. And then the third is a microphone. If they speak, if they talk with friends, will be recorded also. And then photos at random. If they move, yeah, they will be recorded too. You can see the result later. Okay, and this one is okay. We update setting. Okay, successfully. And then we will try. Okay, we'll try. Okay, don't forget the link. Okay, and this is the link. Enable timer first and maximum number of time. Maybe they have a problem, or sometimes maybe not good internet. So we attempt this for 4 times. Okay, maybe reload. Yeah, so they can attempt 4 times. If only 1 time, be careful. Only 1 time. Yeah, they will find difficulties. So we put it only 4 times, and then see. Choose a classroom. Since I already connected with Google Classroom and this is my class, so I'll put it here. Okay, example here. So they will get notification that I give them a quiz, and then we copy the link. Okay, okay, copy the link. Take a look the instruction. Okay, yeah. Take a look inside. Now file upload question. Okay, so instruction. Student must click on both submit. So we click both, yeah. Submit and yeah, to both up. Okay, the blue one, yeah, or the blue one in up. Okay, and also student need to log out all their other Google accounts. So just only one. Okay, just only one account. Do not set the maximum number. Yeah, already keep track. All right. Okay. No. Okay. So we copy this. We copy the link. Now we try. Okay. I try the link. Okay. Then we share the link also to our students. Okay. Wait. Do I still have time, Mr. Dr. Afrianto?
Yes, you have still, you have plenty time.
Plenty time, thank you very much.
Plenty time. You
Yeah,
still have
okay, here
15
you go.
minutes for this.
Okay, thank you. Okay, here you go. Okay, this is the task. Okay. Yeah, before giving the task, I always give the students demonstration first, so they will not find difficulties during the assessment. Okay, got it. And then won't stop sharing screen. Okay. All right. There is error loading camera. Oh, since I opened Zoom, yeah. Okay. Since okay. Try again. Right. Yeah, since I use also two applications, so it doesn't work. But I will, yeah, I will try. Yeah, I will share another that I had practiced before. For example, this one. Okay. Okay, this one GD score. Oh, still loading. Oh yeah. Yeah. So we try another then. That already been recorded. Okay, here we go. Just open my Google Drive then. All right, I will share this one. Yeah, try. So this is the result. All right. So 3 responses. Okay, then yeah. How we know that the students do it? How we know that students do it by themselves without cheating? Yeah, we can see the result here. Okay, okay, we go to timer protect proctor, and then we see the result. Actually, I just used this application this semester, and then I think I'd like to share this in. I think this is very useful. Okay, see the result. Okay, so the trust score. Okay, we tried this a few minutes ago before I do my presentation. See the trust score. Okay, trust score is 28%. That's mean okay. I consider the students is fail. Yeah, since 28%. Okay, and then the second I try also. The second is 56. So 56 is in the middle. So I consider also 56. Yeah, is a fail. So must be 75%. The accuracy must be 75. So 2 of the students are failed. Okay, they are failed. They fail then, yeah. So this is see the activities of the student. We can see if they ask why I got this score, we can give the result. Okay, we show the result. We see the result. Okay, here you go. This is the result. Okay, we can view. Okay, this one is okay. How many minutes? Okay, only 2 seconds. Okay, see, we view the result, and then all right, attempt it can wait 9:30 a.m. All right, so this is noise detected. Okay. See, noise detected can be recorded here, and also this one. Okay, random photos, as I mentioned before. Okay, so yeah, maybe they can move or do something while doing exam. Okay. Right, next. Yeah. How about this one? So the trust score, okay, here you go. The trust score is 28%. So I consider this will repeat again or will take exam again, remedial. And also the second is 56. Okay, let's see the result of the second participant. yeah, noise detected. So many, see, so many. So we can share this report to the student. Okay, here you go. Random photos, noise detected. Okay. See. So, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Next map. Okay. How many minutes, Dr. Afrianto? That I still have time. Okay.
It's around 7 minutes.
7 minutes. All right. Yeah. I I jump. Yeah, I jump to make it so we can do simulation. Yeah, actually, you can have my presentation. You can have my slide. Okay, my PowerPoint. Okay, and then the last one is okay. Yeah. If you are interested in some application, I have the book Digital Application. There are 34 applications that can be used during this pandemic. Okay, the title is Digital Application for Synchronous and Asynchronous Learning. And this is the conclusion for this research, with a number of applications that can be used in learning, such as Google Form, Google Classroom, Google Form, and Auto-Practice are chosen as they offers a lot of effectiveness to users. And the second, the appropriate style of learning and right preference of application use make them learning experience and improvement effective. Moreover, students can obtain the academic achievement and performance achievement. And the third one, during this pandemic, effective online learning must be supported by good quality of internet or network infrastructures and more creative and innovative teachers. Yeah, that's why I mentioned before that a teacher and educator, they have to find the solution during this pandemic. And hence, it's our responsibilities as researchers to address all the matters related to e-learning, as well as to reveal the opportunities it contains for our better education. Okay, this is the references. All right. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ervina Simatupang. Well, actually, you are my senior, yeah? If I'm not mistaken, you graduated from Universitas Pajajaran, yeah? So I'm your junior then. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Ervina Simatupang, for the nice presentations. And maybe for some of us, it will be the new informations or the new method in managing the class, yeah, especially in the virtual learnings. All right, thank you, Dr. Ervina. Then, ladies and gentlemen, now we are in the question and answer session. So it is your time for the audiences. So take your time to give your questions. So you may also deliver your questions through the chat box. And then you may also raise your hand if you want to directly ask our invited speakers, Mr. Eric Kurniawan, PhD, and also Dr. Ervina Simatupang. All right.
Dr. Afri.
All right. Yeah.
Is it possible?
Okay. All right, Mr. Rido.
Okay, because here we have editor-in-chief and experts in publication, Professor Eric Kurniawan. So actually, this is a mystery for me because it's difficult and challenging so this question is dedicated to Prof. Eri. So it's very challenging for us in the area of ELT, linguistics and literature, to publish in international reputable journal in English-speaking countries, actually. So we are thinking about publishing more. Actually, we have published in European countries. We have published in Asian countries. But it's very challenging, even though Q2, Q1, but to be published in American journals or in British journals, it took time, and I couldn't really find Indonesian writers, especially in the area of ELT, very limited. So have you been looking at that, Prof. Eri? And maybe you can share with us how to publish. Even me myself, I haven't published in American journals. Yeah, so far maybe in Europe, in Asia, in Australia, yes, but Australia is not included. I mean, in States and UK. Thank you.
All right, thank you for Mr. Rido. So I would like to tell you, Mr. Eri Kurniawan and also Ibu Ervina. So Mr. Ahya Rido is the Dean of the Faculty of Art and Education. All right, I think I will give the chance for Mr. Eri to respond Mr. Rido's questions.
Thank you, Pak Dekan. Well, this is not a question. This is actually a rhetorical question. So, to which I wouldn't respond. Just kidding. All right. In my publication experience, the only times I had my works published in American journals were when I was with my late advisor. So somehow I don't I haven't really figured out what it is that really is taking place in terms of whether somehow affiliations factor in publications, or having someone who is more knowledgeable in the field, for example, like in my case, my advisor somehow factors into successful publications. But um, as far as I can tell in my personal experiences, the answer is yes. So when my first time experience sending a manuscript to a Q1 journal in England, syntax, for example, um, it took me 4 years, Pak Dekan. It took me 4 years. So, but I didn't have any expectations. Seriously, I didn't have an expectation. So that was my first time like sending a manuscript to a highly reputable journal. But I was quite, um, like I didn't expect anything out of the publication, because I was working on my dissertation. So I thought like it's just a bonus if my one of my chapters got published. Otherwise, I'm working toward the completion of my study. So that's what I had in mind when I did that. But it seriously took 4 years to get the work finally published. And you know what, Pak Dekan? One of the comments from the Brits was, please have your manuscript proofread by a native speaker of English. And it drove my advisor crazy, because he is a true American English speaker, and this manuscript was co-written by me and my advisor. And so somehow, to me, there is some, I guess this is my suspicion, there is some different way of looking at non-native speakers of English. So then when you see a manuscript coming from a person whose language is not English, then they look at it very carefully, up to the point that I think it doesn't sound really English. Even though, I mean, Bapak Ibu can check on my Scopus profile and read the manuscript, read the article. It's full English, of except for the Sundanese data, but the language used is English. It's been proofread by my advisor, who happens to be a native speaker of American English. The second time was also with my advisor, and we sent it to Oceanic Linguistics, a Q2 journal in Hawaii, and it took us about 2 years to get it published, and with lots of coming back and forth as far as the reviews are concerned, and comparing my experience of publishing my works in American based publishers and European or Asian based publishers, it was a totally different experience because it was so demanding, right? And I never tried sending my manuscript myself, like as me as the only author. But I guess I'll try. I'll give a shot perhaps this year, see if that will work out. But I personally have some priorities, Parikan. So um, of several manuscripts that I have prepared with my team and my students, I have a list like which one I think is highly publishable or of high quality in terms of substance and then writing quality, which I will send to highly reputable journal. And I know it will take forever, but that's for my own like target and so on and so forth. But then which ones are good enough and it could be publishable on Scopus Index journals, but perhaps Q2 or Q3, and the publisher are European or Asian. So I have that in my list. I have some priorities of which journal should I send to. And since my last publication in American publisher back in 2015, oh my goodness, long time ago. So 6 years ago, I haven't even tried to send a manuscript to an American publisher anymore because I guess it took me forever. I mean, man, I'll give it another shot. Perhaps with that experience, I may know what to expect, but I will still try to find a co-author from some European or American university just to help another look at my argumentation and perhaps polish my English.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Eri, because it's a very challenging for us Asian to publish in that native
Right,
speaking.
right.
And then I have read this article actually and met a researcher who looked at how scientists read science and how native speakers read native text, which is very interesting. How they look at into a text is very different from most of Asian people look into a text. That's why when we consider your coding systems, maybe we have to look at which one is more suitable for native speaking countries.
Right. That's right. I mean, that's perfectly accurate.
Thank you, Dr. Afi. Thank you, Prof. Eri.
Thank you,
All
Badika.
right. Thank you, Mr. Rido, for the questions, and thank you for Mr. Eri Kurniawan. So yeah, this is the case. So language case in the publication is also problems for us, since it also happened to me. Yeah. All right, Dr. Mr. Eri Kurniawan, PhD. So we have questions in the chat box from Dr. Haji Nur Eka Chandra. So he asks, is it possible if these kinds of topic done by our undergraduate students for their scripts or their thesis?
All right. From Bu siapa? Hold on.
From Dr. Hajah Nur Eka Chandra.
Okay, from Bu Eka. Bu Eka, let me share something with you. Hold on. Oh. So over the past 5 years, I actually, accidentally ran into this topic because one of my master students brought this up. He was intrigued by the paucity of similar research in the Indonesian context, and he brought up a research proposal to me 5 years ago. And when I read his proposal, I was quite appalled at how rare studies within our context have been done by our scholars. And so he did his research under my supervision, and his thesis, it's a master's thesis, eventually was published, was converted into journal articles, and it led to 4 Scopus Index articles in Q1 and Q2. And so that was like a starting point for me, career wise, because publication wise, because somehow the topic brought me into a totally different avenue that I haven't looked at before. If you looked at my profile, initially I was a pure theoretical linguist. Most of my works are understandable to most general public because I'm heavily Chomskyan. But then, since 5 years ago, the first time I met with my student about his topic proposal seminar, and finally we could together publish his thesis into 4 different research journals in Q1, Q2 Scopus Index. That somehow opened the door, like what next should we do? And thanks God that he is now my colleague in my university. So I guess that's my even greater accomplishment than getting my works published. So I finally could talk to him into being one of our colleagues, so we could do this together. And so over the past 4 years, we have published more than 10, I guess, Scopus Index journals with him, involving students, Ibu. And so what we learn from what we've done, we cannot research alone, let alone publish alone, right? That's a huge undertaking. It's gonna take forever, Bapak Ibu, just to do research, right? Especially under Litabmas or SIB Litabmas. This technically lots of demands, right? For publication, and to some extent, it doesn't make any sense. Because publications are just a total different world than research. So it takes more than even a year if you want to get your work published in a reputable journal. And so we started building a team consisting of our students under our supervision 4 years ago. So we offered several topics to our students. We presented our work to them, and then somehow giving them some options, and inviting them to be part of our research teams. And since then, our students have successfully published their works in national Sinta Index 3 and 2, right, journals, and Scopus Index journals. So far, if I can recall the facts correctly, there have been 3 Scopus Index journals in Q2 and Q3 written by our students in this field, Bapak Ibu. And so if you are somehow intrigued and fascinated or into this topic, you are welcome to talk to me more, and then we can have some collaboration.
All right, thank you, Mr. Eri. And then we have another questions, and it goes to Dr. Ervina. So let me read the questions. It is from, wait a minute. Yeah, it is from Dery Fikri, Universitas Putra Indonesia. So he asks, I've just noticed that autoproctor costs $10, okay, a month. And is there any cheaper application to avoid students cheating, or even for free? And then the second question, I have read the review of autoproctor itself, and mostly the students really hate it, okay, due to its sensitivity of detecting noise. What do you think about it? Thank you. All right,
Okay.
Dr. Ervina.
Yeah, thank you very much. The first one is actually I use this so many times, more than 10 times. Even today I use it. It is free. Yeah, it is free. But maybe if you use it more than I think 10 times still free, or 30 times. Yeah, 30 times still free. But after that, you can use or we can create another email. Yeah, it is the first, and then the second one is yeah, I use free now. Okay, and the second one is student hated. Yeah, probably student hated, since the student cannot do cheating. Everything will be recorded there. So yeah, yeah, depends on the lecturer or the teachers. Okay, with application they are using for just only timer or just only timer or bot. Okay, since autoproctor is uses artificial intelligence, but for the teacher, for the teacher and for myself, it's really helpful. So I don't need to monitor, since I cannot monitor my students at home while during the test. So I need this application to monitor the students' test or the students' assessment. Since this application artificial intelligence preventing and collecting evidence of wrongdoings during the online exam. And then, there are weakness actually. Yeah, I will tell there are the weakness of this application. The first is the students or cannot open other resources, or they cannot open other tools, just only focus on the test. And the second one is everything student activity will be recorded. Okay, so only to the weakness for this application. But this application is very useful for lecturers or for teacher. However, in teaching TOEFL test that we have TOEFL, so this application is very useful, very useful. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you,
Ms.
Dr. Ervina.
Dr.
Okay, yeah, we still have another questions, and it is also for Dr. Ervina. So let me read it. Wait a minute. It's a bit. All right. Oh, it is from Mr. Yogi from Universitas Teknokrat, Indonesia.
Okay.
It's good applications that we should try to use for, what is that? Proctoring other multiple choice tests. And the question, how do you deal with copy of test item that's easily spread out to other students, it is safe or not? According to your experience of using it, how many times of random pitch taken in the session of the test? All right, Dr. Ervina.
Okay, maybe I can share again. So because language is evidence, so we need the okay, I'll try to share. Okay. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, how many times? Yeah, randomly. Yeah, can be 3 times again. Okay. For example, this one. Okay. See, can be 2 or 3. But here, since I move, since I just tried it, can be 10 photos recorded. Depends on the activities. And noise detected also a lot. Yeah, there you go. It can be longer. Okay, I just only try this for demonstration. Can be longer than this. Okay, I use this. Actually, this is the output. This is the output of our research, HIBA from Ristek Dikti. And then I try to to share this. To share this application, since we had tried this. My friends and I tried this application, and more reliable, more valid than. Compared to other application that we have used. And again, it is, I will tell you this, it is actually free. We can use that. Yeah, Pak Yogi, maybe you can try this for, for exam, for final exam.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ervina. So because of the time, so it's
Dr. Afri, I
and
have one question actually to Dr.
all
Ervina.
right, Mr. Rido.
That was
All
very
right.
interesting presentation. So actually, we are working on this as well for not only students' assessment, but also for what is that, lecture assessment. So we have this kind of tests here for our potential faculty members. But how it could deal with, let's say, subjects or courses like analysis courses or production courses, or like a prose analysis, let's say, or prose production, or like translation, the compatibility of the system or the tools that you are building with your team, Dr. Evina.
Okay, thank you, Pak Dekan. I'm happy to see you. Yeah, thank you for giving me a chance to speak here. Yeah. Since we got the problem, our students got big score for TOEFL test. They got 650 or 650, and do not reflect with their activities during the classroom, during activity in the classroom. So, yeah, we cannot monitor them how to do the task at home. So we try to figure out what are the best solution for this. So we tried, research, and then we tried to find this application. Then now this is, and now we use this application for TOEFL tests. And also for other institutions, for example, at STIA Bandung, since I am the coordinator of TOEFL test there. So I use that also. We use that, and then it works, sir.
Okay, I mean to accommodate the like analysis, assessment, or like translation, it's not compatible. Yeah, Dr. Simatupang.
Yeah. For essay questions, I think I never tried, because this just tried for TOEFL test and multiple choice.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ervina.
Thank you, Dean. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rido. So it's going to be the end of these plenary sessions, and then before end the session, so to the honorable speakers. All right, to the honorable speakers, so we proudly present certificate as the token of our highest appreciation for joining to this international conference. So this is for Dr. Ervina Simatupang. And then this is for Mr. Eric Kurniawan, PhD. Congrats.
Thank you very much. It's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are now at the end of the sessions, and I would like to say thank you for all speakers. So thank you for the insightful information and materials. And then to all the audiences, thank you also for your involvement in giving questions and discussions. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And back to the host, Mr. Peter Muhammad.
Well, thank you very much to all the plenary speakers. Eri Kurniawan, PhD from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, and also Dr. Ervina Simatupang from Universitas Widyatama Bandung. Both of you are very great in inspiring all of us. Hopefully the discussion and also the presentations is motivating all of us, yes, to be a better educator, especially, and also researchers. Well, we are about to start the parallel session, and the parallel session, it is going to be parallel session 4, and then this parallel session 4 will begin in a couple of minutes. And we would like to remind you, here are the link. We're going to share you the link to your breakout room of the parallel session 4. This parallel session 4 will be the end or the last parallel session of this conference. And there will be a certificate announcement at 4 p.m. There will be a certificate announcement later on at 4 p.m. So you are all expected to go back to the main room right after the parallel session. One more time, that we are going to have a certificate announcement at 4 p.m. So you are all audiences, participants of the last parallel session, all participants of this conference are expected to come to the main room right after the breakout.
Could you please repeat the announcement? Peter, could you please repeat the announcement because of the music? Like everyone couldn't hear that very clearly.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Rido. That all the participants and audiences are expected to go back to the main room right after the parallel session 4. So all of you we will have the certificate announcement at 4 p.m. So right after the parallel session, you are all expected to go back to the main room of the Zoom of this conference. Yeah, here are the list of your breakout rooms, because right after this, there will be a parallel session 4. And right after parallel session 4, you may and expected to go back to the main room for the certificate announcement delivered by our chairperson. I think the information is quite enough, and here are the list of your breakout rooms that you can engage and access with its passcode, very easy passcode 123. So please take a look at your annual book, conference book. You may go to your conference book to get into which topic is probably you interesting the most. Okay, see you at 4 and happy conference.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute old. I never thought true love with me, making one as lovely as she. Isn't she lovely? Made from love. Isn't she pretty? Truly the angels pass. Boy, I'm so happy. We have been heaven blessed. I can't believe what God has done to us. He's given life to us. Isn't she lovely? Made from love. Isn't she lovely? Light on the stage, light on his shine. The meaning of your name, Lord, if you have not been done, they thought you confused the one. Isn't she lovely? Made from love. Hey. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute old. I never thought true love with me, making one as lovely as she. Isn't she lovely? Made from love. Isn't she pretty? Truly the angels pass. Boy, I'm so happy. air beta, tiada bandingnya di dunia. Karya indah Tuhan Maha Kuasa bagi bangsa yang memujanya. Indonesia Ibu Pertiwi, kau ku puja, kau ku kasihi. Tenagaku bahkan pun jiwa puja, kau ku kasihi. Tenagaku bahkan pun jiwaku kasihi. Tenagaku bahkan pun jiwaku kepadamu rela ku beri. Sungguh indah tanah air beta, tiada bandingnya di dunia. Karya indah Tuhan Maha Kuasa bagi bangsa yang memujanya. Indonesia Ibu Pertiwi, kau ku puja, kau ku kasihi. Tenagaku bahkan pun jiwaku kepadamu rela ku beri. Sungguh indah tanah air beta, tiada bandingnya di dunia. Karya indah Tuhan Maha Kuasa bagi bangsa yang memujanya. Indonesia Ibu Pertiwi, kau ku puja, kau ku kasihi. Tenagaku bahkan pun jiwaku kepadamu rela ku beri. Sungguh indah. Tanah air beta, tiada bandingnya di dunia. Karya indah Tuhan Maha Kuasa bagi bangsa yang memujanya. Indonesia Ibu Pertiwi, kau ku puja, kau ku kasihi. Tenagaku bahkan pun jiwaku kepadamu rela ku beri. Sungguh indah tanah air beta, tiada bandingnya di dunia.
welcome back again to the International Conference on Language, Linguistics, Literature, and Education. And it is actually in our final agenda. Within these 2 days, we have witnessed a lot of incredible people doing their presentation and give us insightful ideas and discussion. I expect that all of the presenters and also audiences and also speakers have done their fulfill their attendance. Yeah. So I hope all of you have fulfilled your attendance. It's due and related to the certificates. Before we close, we have another announcement and will be given by Miss Berlinda, the chairperson of this conference. Miss Berlinda, going to give you announcements about certificates, announcement that you can access. Now we give a time for our chairperson, Miss Berlinda Mandasari.
Okay. Okay. Is it audible, Bapak Ibu?
Sure.
Yes. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu. Thank you for keep staying on this Zoom meeting. Yeah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, we have come to the end of this conference after this great 2 days with keynote and also plenary speakers. And we do really hope that from those those keynote speaker and also plenary speaker, we got so much knowledge and insight that later we can bring back to our institutions, and then we can implement it, and then we can share it to our students and also another lectures. Yeah. And in this occasion, I'm going to inform, or there are 2 points or 2 things that I need to inform related to certificate and also publication. Well, now for the certificate itself, our team is now working for preparing for the certificate, especially for presenter and also for participants. But it can be accessed today at 5 p.m. through the link that we are going to share. Perhaps the committee can share the link. Okay. We also have actually shared the link to to the information on the parallel session, yeah, Bapak Ibu, yeah. But later we will share again in order that Bapak Ibu can access the the certificate through online. But I just want to make sure that the data.
Sorry, Miss.
You are mute, Miss. Suaranya tidak terdengar.
Now, is it audible?
Sangat kecil suaranya, Miss.
Suaranya hilang, Miss.
Is it audible, Bapak Ibu?
Yes, audible, Miss. No, not again.
You are muted.
Suaranya belum di masih ada.
Check. Is it now audible, Bapak Ibu?
Yeah.
Gemma.
You are muted.
We hope that all the participants you may wait for a while.
Okay. Is it audible now?
Test, test. It is unclear.
Oh iya.
Check, check. Bapak Ibu, is it audible?
Yes, it's good now.
Clear.
Yes, okay. So perhaps I need to, clarify again, yeah. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for Bapak Ibu to, to stay in this Zoom. And hopefully that we have already got a very insightful knowledge and material from keynote speaker and also plenary speakers. Well, before we end this conference, we close this conference, there are two things or 2 points that I need to announce here. The first one is about the certificate, and then also the second one is about the publication. The first one is about the certificate, Bapak Ibu. Now our team are still working for preparing for the certificate, especially for the presenter and also the participants. But we want to make sure that this certificate can be accessed today, ya Bapak Ibu ya. So later after at 5 p.m. Bapak Ibu can access the certificate through the link that is going to be shown to this to this Zoom meeting. Yeah, but before that, I just want to make sure. I just want to remind Bapak Ibu that especially for the email and also the name ya Bapak Ibu ya. Since this link will use use email address to access the certificate itself. So just make sure that Bapak Ibu have already inputted the correct email address and also the correct name, including academic title. So here it is the link for the certificate. Okay, I think everyone here can see the link ya Bapak Ibu ya, for presenter and also for presenter and also for participant. Maybe we can we can simulate it. Not yet. Okay, so this one, so later if you access this link, then Bapak Ibu will see the box like this one, and you can write down your email address. Then if the email address is correct, then there will be information about your certificate. Okay, Bapak Ibu. And also for the material or slide from our keynote speaker and also plenary speaker, then Bapak Ibu can access it on the website of Icllle ya. Jadi so Bapak Ibu can access on the website www.iclle.teknokrat.ac.id. Then there will be a menu there in order that Bapak Ibu can download the material from keynote speaker and also plenary speaker. The next one, I do hope that Bapak Ibu do not leave the WA group ya Bapak Ibu, in order that we can update any information related to the certificate. If Bapak Ibu have already fulfill the Google form and also input the correct email address and including the name, but Bapak Ibu could not find out the certificate, then Bapak Ibu can contact us, can contact the committee. Okay, I think it's clear. If you have any questions, then you may later chat us. And the second one is about the publication. Last week, I have already share the confirmation for publication plan to Bapak Ibu, and I have got the response, and now the committee and the reviewer are still working for reviewing. Then the result of review will be announced a week after this conference. Okay, perhaps it will be Saturday next Saturday next week. We will announce the result of review on the website. Then later we also need to confirm again to Bapak Ibu to send the latest article. Perhaps today Bapak Ibu have already presented the article, and then perhaps Bapak Ibu have already got the input from or suggestion from other presenter, then need some little revision on the article, then Bapak Ibu can revise the article. So later, after we announce the result of review, then Bapak Ibu need to send back the latest article to us in order that we can help for the publication itself. So that's the thing. Is there any things to add? Okay. Yeah, I think that's the thing that I need to share or that I need to inform. Perhaps there will be some other committee that want to add other information. Lastly, I do really hope that this conference bring benefit for all of us, and thank you Bapak Ibu for participating in this conference, and we do really apologize for the inconvenience, and hopefully that we can meet again on the second international conference on language, linguistics, literature, and education next year. That's all for me. Thank you and good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss.
It is still muted, Pak.
Saudari. Okay, Tech. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Clear.
Okay, so last but not least, we would like to say thank you very much for the rest of the participants and also speakers that have joined the very first International Conference on Language, Linguistic Literature and Education 2021. For further information, you are expected to not leave your WhatsApp groups, and for those who still probably got missed with information, you can engage with the WhatsApp groups. That's all for all of us. We signing off. See you next year. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, committee, for
Cek, 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 cek. Ini gimana? Habis mana juga? Cek, cek, cek. Cek, tes, tes, tes. 1, 2, 3, keluar. Apa passwordnya? Enggak.
It's all or nothing, really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to help, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I It's all or nothing, really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to help, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you looked all the pain of the day things into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, then you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. Suddenly, this time I feel there's no one to come to. Suddenly, nothing got me sleeping without you. I need somebody to love, somebody to heal, somebody to have, just to know how it feels. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you help me escape. Another day leaves into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, then you pull the rug. I was getting kinda
Cek, tapi keluar sini, speaker sininya nggak usah. Ini masuk, tapi masuk speaker sini juga. Enggak dong. Yang pas pertama di situ Mister Apri itu enggak keluar gini. Coba. Yang atas yang speakernya keluar, jangan di situ. Nah, speakernya ganti. Yang VB itu coba. Coba. Cek cek masih ya. Cek. Ini masuk kok ini. Di apa? Di zoomnya masuk. Tapi masuk juga di sini. Oh, tadi juga gitu ya? Hah? Iya, Bu. Pan. Cek. Cek cek. Nah, ini masuk. Masuk. Jelas. Itu di mana, Wan? Ini jelas banget. Oh, yang bisa langsung klik. Saya nggak dikirim lagi. Dan ini gambar. Tak ketikin aja. Cek. Cek. Tuh, udah aman. Satu, ini cek sound, masuk sekarang, masuk, udah selesai acaranya tapi. Cek. Cek, ini tes sound. Cek. Masuk gak?
Yeah. 45, and maybe I'm barely alive, and maybe this is really it for the last time. Maybe I know that I'm drunk, maybe I know you're the one, maybe I'm thinking it's better if you try. Oh, 'cause girls like you run around with guys like me till sundown. When I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Girls like you look funny, yeah. Me too, what I want when I come through. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cek cek 1 2 3, cek cek jelas, tapi output kan fokus right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah.
Iya gimana?
It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart.
Cek cek ini tes sound.
Without saying a word, you can light up the dark. Try as I may, I can never explain
Malah kebalik sini.
what
Narasumber malah nggak masuk akal.
when you don't say a thing.
Benar ya? Tadi kan narasumber masuk akal.
The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you never leave. The touch of your hand says you
Ya, udah. Tapi apa? Cek, cek, tuh. Tapi masih cek. Cek, cek. Hitphone, kita cek dulu ini. Ini dari sini, cek. Itu dari sini. Dari sini. Cek, 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 cek. Tunggu. Ini gue mute dulu. Cek cek 1 2 3.
there's a truth in your eyes saying you never leave me. The touch of your hand says to catch wherever I fall. You say that when you say nothing matters.
Cek.
Suara, masuk.
Cek. Cek. Nggak mantul suaranya.
Ada kayaknya.
Masuk sekarang. Ini jadi. Ya acaranya tapi udah selesai.
Pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I didn't know no pain. When I believed in forever and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name. 'Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Yeah. But everything gonna be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, yeah. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you. Memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost. When I fell in love, the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feel like a never, and it's lighting on the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, that you know I'll never drop. Hey. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Yeah. But everything will be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, yeah. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you.
Cek, cek, mantul nggak? Cek, cek, cek. Tuh, bahkan di situ nggak mantul.
Oh hush, my dear, it's been a difficult year, and on innocent victims. Trust me, darling. Trust me, darling. It's been a loveless year. I'm a man of three fears: integrity, faith, and crocodile tears. Oh, trust me, darling. Trust me, darling. So look me in the eyes. Tell me what you see. perfect paradise, tearing at the seams. I wish